In the grand arena of fighting games, two titans have returned. In one corner, the King of the Iron Fist, a 30-year legacy of 3D combat culminating in its most aggressive chapter yet. In the other, the Defender of Earthrealm, the master of gore and cinematic storytelling, reborn in a new era. The internet has declared war. Forum posts scream Tekken 8 is going to kill Mortal Kombat 1. But is this a true deathmatch, or are these two champions fighting in completely different weight classes for entirely different prize purses? Today, we settle the score. This is not just a comparison, it's a deep dive analysis to find out which of these legendary fighters truly deserves your time and money. To understand this rivalry, one must first look at how each game entered the ring. Their launch receptions were not just different, they were polar opposites, setting a narrative that has defined their public perception ever since. Tekken 8 arrived on January 26, 2024 to a storm of critical acclaim and player praise. It was hailed for its stellar launch and overwhelmingly positive coverage, many outlets and players immediately labeling it a complete game with a metascore soaring above 90. It was positioned as a must-play for fans of the genre and newcomers alike. The core of this positive sentiment stemmed from a simple philosophy value from day one. Tekken 8 felt like a finished, feature-rich product that respected its players. It launched with a massive roster of 32 characters, a suite of single-player modes, and crucially, a deep and extensive character customization system that was entirely free. Players felt they received a full, premium experience for their $70, a feeling that generated immense goodwill and established Tekken 8 as a benchmark for what a modern fighting game release should be. In stark contrast, Mortal Kombat 1's release on September 19, 2023 was mired in controversy. Despite solid core gameplay, the game was immediately hit with accusations of being half-baked, unfinished, and a broke pile of mess by a significant portion of its player base. The primary source of this backlash was not the gameplay itself, but the game's aggressive business model. Players quickly discovered a monetization system that felt more at home in a free-to-play title than a full-priced release. Withheld content, questionable microtransactions for items like Fatalities, and an overall feeling of being predatory and money-hungry soured the experience for many. This approach, widely attributed to publisher Warner Bros. Games, created a deep sense of disappointment and a feeling of being scammed among longtime fans who expected a complete package akin to previous entries. Features that were standard at the launch of its predecessor, Mortal Kombat 11, such as robust crossplay, were notably absent at MK1's launch, reinforcing the perception of a rushed, incomplete product. This fundamental difference in launch strategy and business philosophy is the foundation of the entire debate. The online war between the two games is not just about which has better mechanics, it's a referendum on what players expect from a modern AAA game. Tekken 8 delivered a product that felt generous and complete, earning player trust. Mortal Kombat 1 delivered a product that, for many, felt compromised by its monetization, eroding that trust from the very beginning. The difference between the two games is the dimension in which they operate. Tekken 8 is a true 3D arena fighter. Combat is not just about moving left and right, the ability to sidestep into the foreground and background adds a crucial third dimension, the Z-axis. This transforms every match into a three-dimensional tug-of-war, where positioning, spacing, and dodging attacks by moving around your opponent are as vital as blocking. This freedom of movement creates unique defensive and offensive opportunities not found in 2D fighters. Mortal Kombat 1, on the other hand, operates on a 2.5D plane. While its characters and stages are rendered with 3D models, all movement is locked to a traditional 2D axis: forward, back, up, and down. The gameplay focuses on grounded footsies, projectile zoning, and controlling horizontal space. This design is reinforced by its dedicated block button, a hallmark of the series. Unlike Tekken, where blocking is done by holding the back direction, MK1's block button works regardless of which way your character is facing, a system that allows for more complex offensive mix-ups and cross-ups where an opponent attacks from behind. This dimensional difference informs how combos are constructed. The two games are often lumped together as having dial-a-combo systems, but this is a significant oversimplification that misunderstands Tekken's core mechanics. Mortal Kombat's system is the quintessential dial-a-combo experience. Players input a predetermined sequence of buttons, or a string, and the character executes that full sequence upon the first successful hit. The skill is not in the button presses themselves, but in knowing which strings are safe on block, when to commit, and how to cancel a string into a special move or a cameo assist to extend the combo. It is a system built on memorization, strategic commitment, and a structured, almost rhythmic execution. Tekken's system, while it does feature preset strings, is fundamentally built around the concept of the juggle. After a launcher attack sends the opponent airborne, the player is free to improvise. A juggle is not one long pre-dialed sequence. Instead, it is a dynamic and creative process of linking shorter strings and individual attacks with precise timing, spacing, and character-specific physics to keep the opponent suspended in the air for as long as possible. This system is far more freeform and execution-heavy, rewarding improvisation over rote memorization. This crucial distinction reveals a philosophical split in how each game defines player expression. In Mortal Kombat 1, expression comes from strategic knowledge, choosing the right pre-built tool, the string, the special, the cameo, for the right situation. The creativity is in the setup and the game plan. In Tekken 8, expression happens during the combo itself. Two expert players can land the same launcher and follow up with entirely different, personalized juggle routes based on their position relative to the wall, their available meter, and their mastery of the character's unique properties. This is why players often describe Tekken's combat as more fluid, with more variety and creativity. It also explains why Grange's Tekken can feel ridiculously hard to learn for newcomers, as its freeform nature demands a much deeper understanding of the game's physics and timing to master. Both titles introduce a signature mechanic that fundamentally alters their combat flow. For Tekken 8, it's the heat system, an engine designed to force aggression. For Mortal Kombat 1, it's the cameo system, a revolution in team-based strategy. The heat system is a powerful once-per-round temporary state designed to make combat tenser and more aggressive than ever. Historically, high-level Tekken has been a very defensive game, focused on patient movement and punishment. The heat system is a direct attempt to shatter that meta. It can be activated in two ways, with a universal heat burst, a single button press that functions as an armored attack, or by landing specific moves called heat engagers mid-combo. Once active, the player enters a powered-up state. All of their attacks, even when blocked, inflict recoverable chip damage, forcing the opponent to go on the offensive to earn their health back. Characters also gain access to enhanced properties on their existing moves, and can spend their depleting heat gauge on two powerful actions. A heat dash, which cancels the recovery of a move to extend combos or apply pressure, and a heat smash, a unique and powerful cinematic attack that ends the heat state. The system forces every player, regardless of their preferred style, to engage in aggressive, high-stakes offense. The cameo system is arguably the most dramatic gameplay shift in Mortal Kombat modern history. At the character select screen, players choose not only their main fighter, but also a secondary cameo fighter from a separate roster of classic characters. These cameos act as assists, called into battle with a single button press and governed by their own recharging meter. Their function is incredibly versatile. A cameo can be used to extend combos, create complex block pressure, provide defensive utility, or even break an opponent's combo through the combo breaker mechanic, which costs all 3 bars of super meter and the availability of your cameo. This system offers what many reviewers call unparalleled player expression, because it allows you to fundamentally alter your main character's toolset. If your character lacks a good projectile, you can pair them with a zoning cameo like Sonya Blade. If they struggle to open opponents up, a pressure-focused cameo like Scorpion can add a new offensive layer. It effectively allows players to build their own custom fighter through strategic synergy. For decades, fighting games were judged almost solely on their multiplayer. In the modern era, however, a robust single-player experience is crucial. Here again, Tekken 8 and Mortal Kombat 1 take wildly different approaches, reflecting their core philosophy. Tekken 8's story, The Dark Awakens, serves as the grand, bombastic finale to the Mishima blood feud, a central conflict that has defined the franchise for 30 years. The plot is an over-the-top, anime-inspired epic focusing on the final, world-altering confrontation between Jin Kazama and his demonic father, Kazuya Mishima. While some critics found it cheesy and cliché, many fans and reviewers praise it for its sheer spectacle, emotional weight, and for providing a deeply satisfying conclusion to Jin's character arc. The fights escalate to a DBZ-like scale, with characters battling in space before crashing back to Earth for a raw, grounded fistfight that brings the saga full circle. Mortal Kombat 1, conversely, is a complete narrative reboot. Following the events of MK11 Aftermath, Fire God Liu Kang has reset the timeline, creating a new era. This allows the story to completely reimagine the Mortal Kombat universe, giving fresh backstories, relationships, and motivations to its iconic cast. The story is lauded for its Hollywood-level production values, with state-of-the-art facial animations and some of the best fight choreography in the medium. This reboot gives characters who were previously minor henchmen like Baraka and Reptile tragic and compelling new roles, a move that was widely praised. However, some longtime fans felt the story, particularly its multiverse-heavy conclusion, was messy and ultimately less compelling than past NetherRealm narrative. Once the main story credits roll, the game's differing approaches to content become even clearer. Tekken 8 offers a diverse suite of self-contained offline modes. The main edition is Arcade Quest, a charming story-driven mode that acts as an extended tutorial, guiding new players through the game's core mechanics via a narrative about rising through the ranks of the local arcade scene. While praised as a brilliant concept for onboarding, a historical weakness for the series, it has been criticized for being short and shallow, completable in just a few hours. Beyond that, Tekken 8 features Super Ghost Battle, an innovative mode where players fight against AI ghosts that learn from their own playstyle and the playstyles of others online. It also sees the return of the fan-favorite Tekken Ball mode and provides short, unique character episodes for every fighter on the roster. Mortal Kombat 1's primary single-player offering outside of the story is Invasions. This mode is a hybrid of a board game and an RPG, where players move across a map, participating in fights with unique modifiers and challenges to earn cosmetic rewards. Invasions is designed as a seasonal, live service-style mode, with the promise of new content and a new board to explore every 6 weeks or so. While a novel idea for keeping players engaged, it has been heavily criticized for becoming a repetitive slog or grind, with many players losing interest long before the season's end. Beyond Invasions, the game offers the classic arcade-style Towers mode. This contrast reveals a crucial philosophical difference. Tekken 8 provides a suite of evergreen, self-contained modes that are part of the complete package at launch. Mortal Kombat 1 bets its single-player longevity on a central, ongoing live service mode. This again ties back to the launch perceptions. Tekken 8 offline content feels finished and robust, while Mortal Kombat 1 feels designed to be dripped out over time, reinforcing the game as a service critique. A fighting game is its characters. The size, variety, and design of a roster are critical to its long-term appeal. In this category, Tekken 8 starts with a significant quantitative lead, but the qualitative differences are where the real story lies. Tekken 8 launched with a massive roster of 32 playable characters. Mortal Kombat 1 launched with 22 playable main roster characters, with a 23rd, Shang Tsung, available as a pre-order bonus. This gives Tekken 8 a nearly 50% larger base roster, a substantial advantage in terms of sheer content and matchup variety from day one. Both games introduce new fighters, but they do so in very different ways. Tekken 8 adds 3 completely new characters to its universe. Azucena, the energetic coffee queen from Peru with a fast-paced rushdown style, Victor Chevalier, a dapper French super spy with a unique teleporting and weapon-based fighting style, and Reina, a mysterious and aggressive student who employs a fierce blend of Taito and classic Mishima-style karate. The rest of its large roster is composed of returning fan favorites, many of whom have been significantly reworked and rebalanced for the new game's aggressive mechanics. Mortal Kombat 1's approach to new characters is primarily one of narrative and conceptual reinvention. Because of the timeline reboot, the entire cast is technically new. Characters who were once one-dimensional villains are given new depth. Baraka is no longer just a monster, but the tragic leader of a people afflicted by a horrifying Tarkat plague. Reptile is a sympathetic shapeshifter cast out from his society. Li Mei, a deep-cut character from the series' 3D era, is brought back into the spotlight as a constable in Outworld's capital. The innovation here is less about introducing new faces and more about breathing new life into old ones. Variety and philosophy. The two rosters achieve variety through different means, reflecting their core combat systems. Tekken 8's roster is a showcase of immense mechanical diversity. It features clearly defined archetypes that cater to every imaginable playstyle. Pure grapplers like King, relentless rushdown specialists like Hwoarang, defensive counter-hit masters like Asuka Kazama, and deeply complex, unorthodox stance-based characters like Yoshimitsu and Ling Xiaoyu. The variety is baked into the individual design of each of the 32 fighters. Mortal Kombat 1 creates its variety through the synergy of the cameo system. While the 23 main roster characters have distinct styles, the true diversity comes from the possible pairings. A character like Sub-Zero plays one way when paired with a projectile-based cameo like Sonya, but becomes a completely different beast when paired with a combo-extending, pressure-heavy cameo like Scorpion. The variety comes not just from who you pick, but from the team you build. Ultimately, the roster design reflects the overarching goals of each title. Tekken 8, aiming for mechanical supremacy, delivers a huge, mechanically diverse roster to fuel years of competitive play. Mortal Kombat 1, aiming for narrative reinvention, uses a smaller, more focused cast to tell a tighter story, then uses the cameo system as a force multiplier to create gameplay variety. Tekken 8 is built on the cutting-edge Unreal Engine 5 and is frequently described as a visual spectacle and simply stunning to look at. Its art direction leans into a vibrant, flashy, anime-style aesthetic. The screen explodes with particle effects, dramatic lighting, and cinematic camera angles during heat smashes and rage arts. The goal is to make every fight feel like a high-octane, over-the-top action movie, perfectly matching the game's epic narrative scale. Mortal Kombat 1, despite being built on the older Unreal Engine 4, holds its own through a focus on gritty photorealism. NetherRealm Studios has long been praised for its cinematic presentation, and MK1 is no exception, featuring state-of-the-art facial animations and incredibly detailed character models. Of course, the defining feature of its visual identity is the hyper-realistic and unflinchingly detailed gore. The series' trademark fatalities are more gruesome and anatomically intricate than ever, grounding the fantastical martial arts in a brutal, visceral reality. After a deep dive into every facet of these two fighting game titans, it's clear that this is not a simple case of one game being definitively better than the other. This is a clash of champions with fundamentally different goals, design philosophies, and target audiences. The online arguments often miss this crucial context. Tekken 8 stands as a testament to delivering a complete, feature-rich experience at launch. It is a mechanically deep and complex game designed to reward dedication and creativity, earning widespread acclaim and player trust through its generous content model. Mortal Kombat 1 is a narratively ambitious and cinematically stunning reboot that successfully reinvents its universe. Its core gameplay is solid and its cameo system is an inspired addition, but its launch was undeniably hampered by a controversial business model and a content structure that left many players feeling shortchanged, waiting for a complete version of the game to materialize over time. The real winner of the showdown is the player who is blessed with two excellent yet distinct choices. The right choice depends entirely on what you, the player, value most in a fighting game. Choose Tekken 8 if you crave deep, complex, and free-form fighting mechanics with a near-infinite skill ceiling and a focus on 3D movement. You value creative expression through improvisational juggle combos and want a system that rewards execution and dynamic thinking. This game delivers a feature-complete experience from day one. Robust offline modes, a full customization suite, all available without extra cost. The story mode reaches the explosive climax of a 30-year saga told in over-the-top anime style. Gameplay has been overhauled with aggressive mechanics, dynamic stages, and faster pacing. Each fighter brings new depth, new tools, and refined animations. Built for long-term competition, Tekken 8 offers more precision, more style, and more ways to master the fight. Or you can choose Mortal Kombat 1 if you prioritize a high production value, cinematic story mode, and are excited by the prospect of a fresh narrative reboot of a classic universe. You're drawn to Mortal Kombat 1's structured dial-a-combo system, which offers satisfying depth without overwhelming complexity. The new Cameo Assist system catches your attention for the strategic team-building possibilities it introduces, letting you experiment with creative pairings and support mechanics. You're looking for a fantastic party game that's easy for casual friends to jump into, and MK1 delivers with its accessible controls and explosive cinematic flair. The inclusion of high-profile guest characters like Homelander and Peacemaker adds an extra layer of excitement, making each season feel fresh and culturally relevant. You're comfortable with a live service model, appreciating seasonal content updates that keep the game evolving, and you're not deterred by the game's monetization approach as long as the core experience remains strong and engaging. So, who wins the war between Tekken 8 and Mortal Kombat 1? The truth is, you do, the player. In a fantastic year for the genre, we have two of its biggest names delivering two radically different yet undeniably compelling experiences. The real question isn't which game is better, but which fight is yours to win. Whether you're ready to enter the King of Iron Fist tournament, or you're chosen to defend Earthrealm, the arena awaits. Choose your champion wisely.